I think it's recording now. Yeah, now it's recording. My bad. Good thing somebody mentioned. Cool. I don't think anybody dropped a link. Can somebody drop the link for my Telegram page, please? Okay, so the first thing I do, again, since I wasn't recording, I go to the day chart and I'm looking for support and resistance. So let me go ahead and mark them first, and then I will point it out for you guys. Thank you, Andrew. There's my Telegram page, guys, if you're not already in there. Some people use the line. That's fine. It is quicker, but I don't believe that major areas of reversal or the support and resistance is just one solid spot. I do the rectangle because it kind of gives me an area, if that makes sense. Current price right now. And sometimes I'll do both the rectangle and all right. This looks good enough to me. So really the important thing, guys, is to make sure that you find one zone above current price, one zone below current price, and current price itself if it is in a zone. So I could mark up all of these zones up here as well, but this already happened. Like I could mark up all of this, but really price is right here. Right now we are right here. So I have one zone above, one zone below, and then right now current price is in a zone as well. Let me go back to the candles. And now I'm going to point out what I just did. For those of you guys that maybe your eye's not trained quite yet for it, these are areas where price bounced off of or rejected. Whatever word makes more sense for you. So like right here, you see price was coming down, the candles were coming down, and it bounced off of it like a floor, right? If you call it a floor in the ceiling, like a basketball. Came down, bounced off of it, and reversed. Same here. So do you guys see why I chose these areas that I chose? Does anybody not? And if if you don't, please say so. I promise you, you're not the only one that doesn't see it. I don't. Yeah, okay. So let me just zoom in. For those of you that don't see it. These are areas where price, I'm basically, if I was to not have anything on here, right? I want to find kind of a roof and a ceiling wherever I saw rejection, right? What does the word rejection mean? Like, think of it like a magnet. When you put two magnets that are the same together, it rejects, right? They push away from each other. Or like a basketball bouncing between a roof and a ceiling. Picture a basketball bouncing between a roof and a ceiling, right? So what I want to do is put the roof and the ceiling on to the chart. So I basically, if this helps you guys better, if it helps you to put, this is what I used to do. I used to just put a bunch of, I'm just tapping and making a bunch of lines, and grab this line and drag it to wherever you see, basically the pointy areas. Rejection. I'm creating a floor and a ceiling. So everywhere I see, if I go back to the line chart, basically the pointy spots, wherever it bounced. Imagine the candles are basketballs. So all of these areas were price rejected, reversed, bounced off of, whatever word makes sense for you. That's the first thing I do. And I want you guys to understand this is on the daily chart. And what that means is that every single candle, a new candle is formed every single day, every new day. If I was looking at the 4-hour chart, a new candle is formed every 4 hours. If I was looking at the 1-hour chart, a new candle is formed every 1 hour. Does that make sense? Whoa, got a lot of questions. Let me go through these questions really quick. Can you define what you mean with zones again? Did I make that clear, Kimberly? Did I answer that for you?
Yeah, yes. I was writing it as you were saying it.
Cool, perfect. The reason I give you guys so many analogies is because one analogy might not work for somebody else. That's why I say so many terms. They all mean the same thing, but one is gonna click better for you. Do you not get confused with lots of resistance and support levels? No. I know it looks like a lot right now, but once we zoom in, it's not gonna look like a lot. So hopefully that makes sense. I'll show you guys right now. Do you create a support and resistance line where price reversed at least 3 times? I don't care how many times it reversed. If you see it pointy like this, that it reversed, I guarantee you, no matter how far back in time, it would have reversed again. This is the daily chart, which means that these are pretty major areas. Too many zones and lines. I'm just going through all the past. I don't need to, you really don't need to have this many. I was just doing it so that people can see it repetitively done. All right, cool. All right. Hopefully you guys see that. Let me get rid of all these arrows. All right. So this is a little bit cleaner, right? So price is right here. This is our current candle, right? So I really just need one above and one below current price. Now, as you go down to the smaller time frames, think about it as if it's a microscope. We're zooming in, right? So right now we're looking at the daily chart. A new candle's formed every single day. If I go to the 4-hour chart, it's the same exact thing, but just as if we zoomed in. So if I zoomed out, it will look just like the daily chart. And if I go to the 1-hour chart, we're zooming in even more. 4 1-hour candles equals 1 4-hour candle. Does that make sense? That used to confuse me when I first started. How many lines and zones? Thank you. I already answered that. Do you analyze on the daily, then enter? So the first thing I do is just find the zones on the daily. Cool? Does that make sense for everybody? The first and only thing I do on the daily chart is find the support and resistance. And you guys can see as I go through the smaller time frames, you're not seeing so many lines. Like, there's hardly any now. Now you just see how far we zoomed in. It looked really close together, the zones on the daily chart, but now we zoomed in to the 15-minute, and you guys can see how much space there is between the zones. I'm kind of lost after drawing the lines. What are you confused about? So we just found these areas of reversal, major reversal areas. Maybe you're confused about why we're finding these areas, so let me explain why. The reason why we're finding these major reversal areas is because if price has reversed in these major reversal zones, right, these lines, if price has reversed in these areas in the past, we can expect price to reverse in these areas currently now and in the future. The lines is just a reversal where price went into a different direction. So let me show you guys this. Right, so I have price right now coming towards a major reversal zone, right? Or major rejection zone. So if price has rejected in this area in the past, what can I expect from price to do right now? Anybody answer that question?
I missed one.
I'm sorry?
Rejected.
Yeah, exactly. If price has often rejected at this area, I can expect for price to reject here too. Think about it like a basketball, guys. The basketball is coming down towards a major rejection area or floor, support, reversal zone, whatever you want to call it. We can expect for it to bounce off of this area, right? Let me know if that makes sense. Cool. All right. So this is kind of like my safety net. If I was in a trade right now, if I was in this trade, right? If I was in this trade and I'm writing this all the way down for the sell and I'm in profit, if I didn't know that this was a major reversal area, I could get stuck in this trade and then price turns around on me and then I'm no longer in profit. So this is kind of a safety net for me. I know that this is a major reversal area, so I would want to get out of that trade before it turns around on me. Does that make sense? I want the people that are having a harder time to answer, the ones that are saying they don't understand. I expect for price to reverse in these areas, so it's like a safety net for me to take profit. Take my profits and run. Now, absolutely, price can break through, but we're not going to try to predict the market like that. We're going to assume that price is going to reverse. Always assume that price will reverse. Never try to predict that it will break. Yeah, we're securing the bag. So that's why we're finding these major reversal zones. Imagine if you guys were in this sell over here, this sell, and you didn't know that price was going to turn around right here, you could have secured the bag way down here at the bottom, but you didn't mark your reversal zone. Cool? I want to make sure everybody's on the same page before we move on. At one point would you get in if it does break? So if it does break, there's only two scenarios, guys. There's only ever two scenarios. It's going to either bounce off of or reject, reverse, whatever, or it's going to break through, retest. This is what retest means, when it breaks and then comes back up to touch it. Like, think of it like the basketball, right? The basketball breaks through the floor. It's going to bounce back up and hit the ceiling and then continue down. So there's only ever two scenarios. If it does break, we wait for the retest before it continues down. Exactly, yes. Laura, I want to make sure that you understand. Okay. What if it breaks and no retest? No retest, no entry. Yeah, think of it like a basketball underwater. Exactly. It goes down, it got to come back up, retest that surface, and then it will continue down. Would it retest and go back on top of the support? You're thinking too much into it. Now you're overthinking it. Guys, trading is really simple, or it can be really hard. Trading can be really hard, but it can be super simple if you let it be. So I promise I'm going to make this super simple. This is the hardest part. We're not talking about all the different times, all the different types of trading, right? I'm just going to go over how I trade for you guys, and hopefully I can simplify it for you. So now I want to just really quick, I know this is super basic, but this is the pattern that I trade, and I'm going to break it down for you guys. This, what is this, guys? This is basics. What is this?
High and lows.
Okay, yeah, higher lows. What else? Anybody? An uptrend, yeah, exactly. Higher highs, higher lows. It's an uptrend. So we have our low point here, right? We have our low point here, a higher high, or a high. We have a higher low because this low is higher than the previous one. We have a higher high because this high is higher than the previous high. Higher low, higher high. It's an uptrend. And then the same thing goes for this. What's this?
Downtrend.
Exactly. Okay, now I know that's super basic. You guys are probably like, all right, like I already know that. But this is the pattern that I trade, guys. And it's everywhere. Let me show you real quick. So some of you guys might know it as a break and retest, a correction, a pullback, a flag, right? We want to get in to trades.
It's a head and shoulders.
Yeah, well, yeah, when they're next to each other, yeah. But just think of them separate, individually. So we want to get into these trades, right, at the bottom of the impulse for the uptrend, right? We want to catch that entire big move up, and if we're selling on the downtrend, we want to catch the trade at the top before it drops down, right? So this is the pattern that I trade, and I'm going to show you guys how to catch impulses. What do I mean by impulse? What does impulse mean? Trading requires you guys to have some form of, well, a lot of common sense. So if a word doesn't make sense, ask yourself, what does that word mean? Because I've had people ask me, what do I mean by impulse? What does the word impulse mean?
Move is impulsive.
Exactly. It's impulsive. It's fast. Like
Suddenly, yeah.
it's suddenly, exactly. So I'm trying to catch these big impulses. I want to catch that move up. I want to catch this move up. I want to catch this move down. I want to catch this move down. So I'm going to show you guys the pattern that I trade. I had posted this. Let me see. It's in my media. Here. So these are the patterns that I trade, and I'm going to go through the actual chart and point them out for you guys on the actual chart, so you know what it looks like with the candles rather than just me drawing it, because we all know that they don't look this pretty. All right, so take a picture of that, screenshot it, whatever you want to do, or if you're in my Telegram, it's in there as well. But I want to show you guys. First, I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you how, for me, I can identify this pattern very quick because I've trained my eye for it, right? But you guys might not have that trained eye quite yet. So let me go through it and identify it first. And then I'll explain to you guys how you can train your eye to see it as well. Let me find a trending area first real quick. All right, over here. Guys, please mute yourself if you're not already muted. I put that line so I can find that spot quickly. All right, Trading View's not gonna let me do that. So I call them flags. You guys might call them pullbacks, corrections, or whatever. I'm going to point them out. Does everybody see this one? This is 3 waves that you guys could have caught. Right? This is 3 waves. Jasmine, please post this training in your Telegram group. This is awesome for us new traders. Yeah, it's going to be posted. Yeah, I use fibs, but we're not going over that today. Would you? Yeah, it will. Does everybody see this? I'm gonna go more into depth as how to catch it. I just want to make sure. Can somebody please drop my Telegram link again? Thank you. Thank you, Claudia. Okay. If it helps you guys to draw over the candles, by all means do so. By all means do so. Let me go to the 15-minute. I like to enter on the 1 hour and the 15-minute. It doesn't matter which one. Damn. It doesn't matter which one. It's all preference. Where's my arrows? All right, I can't find them. It's okay because I see it. I see another one here. I trade zone to zone, guys. I trade zone to zone. So here we have an impulse down, pullback, impulse down, pullback or correction or flag, whatever you want to call it, impulse, pullback, impulse. Does everybody see this? Right? This is that downtrend that I just drew. It doesn't look as pretty, but that's the downtrend. I'll show you guys how to take profit and everything. No, we're not talking about Elliot's wave. When you say zone to zone, do you mean you trade between the zones you mark? Exactly, right? Because we are taking profit at the zone, right? Because we expect for price to reverse here, which it did. Imagine if you were still in this trade here and you didn't take profit near the zone and it just shot up. That's a huge impulse there. That would have sucked. Thank God we knew that was a major reversal zone, right? Yes, I see it. In what point of that whole move do you enter? I haven't gotten there yet. How would we catch the trend before? I haven't gotten there yet. I just want to make sure you guys see this first. I'm going to show you guys exactly where to enter and everything. I just want to make sure you guys see this, and then I'm going to show you how we could have caught each impulse on its way down. Let me put my charger. Cool. All right. I'm just going to keep going because I'm getting a lot of questions from stuff we already did. Whoa. What's up with TradingView? Why are you doing me like this right now? What the heck? Where were we? Why? There. Okay. All right, I guess I have to remove these one by one. Just follow me, guys. Just follow me. Instead of asking questions about other stuff, follow me where I'm at right now. I guarantee you I'm gonna get to your question. But unless the question's about what I'm doing right in this moment, don't ask it. So I just drew over the downtrend so you guys can see it, right? So I'm going to show you guys how I catch each impulse, right? We want to get in on the pullback or on the correction, on the flag, whatever you call it. So everybody understands what consolidation means, right? We all understand what consolidation means. Shay, yes, exactly what I'm getting to. Does anybody not know what consolidation means? Consolidation is just when price is not going up or down, it's just kind of sideways, like these. Perfect. So you guys saw this is a downtrend, right? I identified the downtrend, but you guys can also see that the pullbacks are consolidated. They're consolidation, right? So if you guys can identify consolidation, you guys are identifying pullbacks, corrections. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to identify consolidation. So let's say none of this, let's say, no. Why? I keep playing myself, I swear. I didn't mean to click that button. Here we go. I'm just zooming in. Let's say none of this stuff happened over here. None of that stuff happened, right? We're gonna catch this first drop. Well, that doesn't help the fact that this drop here, from here to here, that was 35 pips that you could have caught off the 15-minute chart. And then I'll show you guys, we'll catch the other drops as well. But if you guys can trap price or identify price, when I say price, I'm meaning the candles. If you guys can trap the consolidation like I did here, right? I put a line between the consolidation, like I did. I'm waiting for it to break out of that consolidation, right? I'm waiting for it to break out of this consolidation. So if I can just trap price, if I put two lines right between the price, and I'm waiting for the breakout, I would have entered this trade pretty damn near the top. This candle here was our breakout candle. Does that make sense? It finally broke out. And it's kind of like telling us, okay, we want to continue down. Consolidation like this is a continuation pattern. It wants to continue down. Same thing over here, right? Price was consolidating and then we had a strong breakout candle and it broke out. You have to wait for the candle to close. This is the 15-minute candle, so every 15 minutes it closes. You guys can see the timer on the right-hand side over here. You see this timer, 5 minutes and 7 seconds. That timer lets you know when this candle is going to close. So once it closes, like this, it's a go. It wants to continue down. So you would have entered here again. This was our breakout candle. Why do you have to wait for it to close? Because if it leaves, like for instance, this candle, you see how this wick went all the way up here, but it didn't close up there. It closed down here. Some people might have gotten psyched out and thought it was breaking out to the upside, breaking out as a buy up. But it's just a psych out. So you have to wait. Like for instance, over here, this wick came all the way down here, but it didn't close. If you would have entered here, you would have been in the negative. This green candle shot up. You have to wait for it to close outside of the consolidation. So if we are trading minimally or have less time to monitor the charts, is it better to use the 15-minute? No. Laura, I'll talk to you about that after to help you figure out the best form of trading. Would you wait for a retest to? No. No. The consolidations, the pullbacks are retests themselves of minor. So if it's downtrend, we wait for the bear candle to close. Yeah. So you're just waiting for it to break out of the consolidation. Now I will tell you guys this, the direction, like for you see how this consolidation is kind of pointed in an upwards direction, right? It's not completely sideways, it's kind of angled up. It's most likely going to break out to the downside. You see this is angled up. It's going to break out to the downside. If it is angled down, it's going to break out to the upside. I'll show you guys an example of an uptrend as well. And then over here as well, you see that breakout candle here. This candle right here, let me circle it. I'm going to make this even easier for you guys. Watch. Just bear with me. But you would have entered here and you would have caught this last move down. So whether you held on to it from the very top on this one or you caught each one individually, this was a 65 pip move. This, all three of them, 65 pips. Yes, it does matter, kind of. I mean, it's not going to break out to the downside and be green. It won't really do that. It's not going to do that. If it breaks out up, it's going to be green. If it breaks out down, it's going to be red. So guys, when I post my charts, I trap price for you. So you already know what I'm expecting. Like you know, like for instance here, I trapped price with this rectangle, right? And then it broke out up. So we buy. Over here, I trapped price. Over here, it broke out down, so we sell. I trapped price here, broke out up, so we buy. Does that make sense, guys? I'm literally just trapping consolidated areas and waiting for a breakout. And then I'll go through a whole nother chart and go through it quicker. But everything is just kind of step by step right now. So something that I teach people how to utilize if you're having a hard time identifying the consolidation or the flag or the pullback, the correction, whatever word you want to use, is the Ichimoku indicator. If you go to the top, click indicators, type in Ichimoku. Why is it not showing? There we go. So this is normally what the indicator looks like. To me, it's a lot. It's too much. It's too much. So you're going to, right under the currency, it says Euro USD. It will list the indicator. So you'll click the settings wheel here. We're going to remove the conversion line. We're going to remove the baseline. We're going to remove the lagging span. Okay, so take a picture of this if you need to, or look back on the recording later. Then make sure you click OK. I just want the cloud itself. I just want the cloud. And what I back tested with this is that anytime there's consolidation, the candles enter the cloud. You guys can clearly see what the cloud is, right? These little bubbles that look like clouds. So do you guys see how the consolidation goes into the cloud? Or the flag enters the cloud? Does everybody see that? Would you explain how to set stop orders for those who don't have the time to sit and watch the charts? I have two. If you guys are subscribed to my Telegram, at the top I have a pinned post. If you click the pinned post, it will take you here. I have 2 webinars recorded from the past. It's a little bit more in depth than what we're doing today, and I do kind of explain stop orders in those because I use stop orders a lot. But I utilize alerts more than anything. So does everybody see how the consolidation goes into the cloud? Yes? Cool. So what I taught a lot of people to do is we're waiting for a breakout from the cloud as well. If you're having a hard time identifying these flags or the consolidation, whenever the candles consolidate, they go into the cloud. And you'll enter when a red candle comes out of the cloud and closes under the cloud. So you're looking for a red candle, red cloud. And look, I identified these before even putting the indicator on. But some people need the indicator because your eyes react a little bit better to the color, right? Our eyes can identify patterns a little bit better when color is involved. So if you guys know red candle, red cloud, that means sell, right? Same thing over here. You guys could have entered as soon as this red candle closed under the red cloud, sell. Red candle, red cloud. In an uptrend, it will be a green candle, green cloud. Does this make sense? Kimberly, I use the app called Call Levels. Yes, makes sense. Okay, cool. Somebody's not muted. Can you guys mute yourselves? Unless you guys have a question. So please tell, like, this is super simple to me, but it's been a long time since I've been a beginner. So if it doesn't make sense to you, let me know so I can word it differently in another way that maybe makes sense to you. Audrey, download the app and you basically tell it when to send you an alert. And I do this
about the
on the
etymological cloud.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does the candle have to be free of the cloud, or can it like start in the cloud and then close beneath it?
This is why structure is always over any indicator. So I wanted to make, that's why I showed you guys on the naked chart first, so you guys can clearly be able to identify the structure before any indicator. Like for instance over here, this one didn't enter a cloud. Like there's not really a cloud here, right? But if you guys knew the structure of it, you guys would have still been able to catch this whole move down. But yeah, if you're just solely going off of the indicator, you want the candles to go into the cloud completely and exit and close outside of the cloud. I hope that makes sense.
Okay. It does. Thank you.
Thanks, Jasmine. Simple but good. Simple but good stuff. Had to leave. We'll listen to the rest later. No problem. So let me show you guys some other examples too, just like looking into the past. All right, here we have this consolidation, right? after this huge impulse, this is why they're called flags, guys. If you guys don't see how this looks like a pole and then the flag, that's why it's called flags. Like this, pole, flag. Makes sense to me. Please mute your mics, guys, so I don't have to keep going through and muting. So here again, whether you entered just off of market structure, right? Because without the cloud, I can see that where I trapped price. This candle right here, this is the green candle that broke out and closed above, right? Here, or with the cloud, it was this candle that broke out of the cloud. Green candle, green cloud. Now, I want you guys to understand, not every time you see candles go into the cloud and come out of the cloud, it's game time. Because, like, look at over here. This is a lot of mess. It has to be consolidation. It has to be this flag pattern that goes into the cloud. So let me go through some of the posts that I've done in the past, just so you guys can see. It has to be this specific pattern. The impulse consolidation or impulse flag. It has to be this specific pattern if you're going to base it off of the cloud. Impulse consolidation. Impulse consolidation. Impulse consolidation. Does this make sense? Impulse consolidation. The flag. I'm looking for the flag. So I'm usually looking for impulses, guys. You guys can see that these all look the same. This pattern all looks the same. Now you guys can go crazy about head and shoulders patterns. What else? Reversal pattern. Like, there's so many patterns. This is my pattern. The flag, the breakout this is my pattern, and I can only teach you guys my pattern. I have a lot of success with my pattern. I can't teach you guys how to identify. I can't train your eye for you. You just have to see it enough to be able to catch the impulses yourself as well. How do you place those lines with numbers to indicate where your TP and stop loss is? Oh, that I just click this T and I type it. As long as candle closes below structure when you enter. Exactly. Yes, Anthony. Exactly. Miss, can you please mute your mic? I chart everything. I look at everything. I think she doesn't know her mic is on. It's cool. That's why I said it out loud. All right. So now I'm just gonna kind of go. Why is TradingView being so wonky? You guys can even see over here some other, if I was, oh, this is the one I try to see on the 15-minute. What's the best time frames for trading impulses? You can catch an impulse on any time frame. These patterns, every pattern is on every time frame, guys. I prefer the 15-minute and the 1 hour. Like this right here, we have an impulse, right? Flag or consolidation, pullback, correction, whatever you want to call it. And then we have another impulse. This probably entered the cloud on the 15-minute chart. I'm not going to zoom in to the 15-minute because it's pretty far back and I would have to search for it. Let's see. Another pair. Come on. So you see how many consolidated areas went into the cloud? So if you guys can trap consolidation, right? This consolidation, and you see the breakout, green candle, green cloud, you guys could have caught this entire move up. And you take profit at the zone. Here I didn't identify zones, right? I didn't start on the day chart. I just kind of jumped into whatever. But look at this. Day chart, really quick. So I found my roof and my ceiling on the day chart. All right, this is the first thing I do. Zones on the day chart. I'm just kind of running through it quick because this webinar is already an hour in. And then I go to the 1 hour to see if I have any consolidation. This was a horrible pair to choose because all the JPY pairs have just been consolidating for like a week. But I'll find one. I'll do USD CAD or something. Well, I'll do something that's not in session. Because pairs usually consolidate when they're not in session. Okay, so like this consolidation, I'll just trap price wherever it's consolidating, and then it broke out on the bottom, right? It broke out on the bottom. You can either trail your stop loss or you can secure the bag at each zone. If I was to go, let me see the 15-minute chart. I don't know why TradingView is like acting up on me. So it doesn't always have to be a flag. We can just trap price. Yeah, if you want to just catch any type of breakout, yeah, I personally like flags, but you can catch a breakout on any type of consolidation. If there's consolidation, there has to be a breakout. Consolidation is like, to me, is like loading, waiting for an impulse, and I love that. I love catching impulses. I want the big fast moves. Yeah, I have to be patient while it's consolidating, but that patience pays out. So, like, let me show you. Impulse, consolidation, impulse. See? Does this make sense, guys? Is anybody lost? Is anybody confused? Edwin, no, it's not like LBO where I put a buy stop and a sell stop. No. I'm trying to figure out how I would answer that. You don't know when it's gonna break out. This had an impulse down, and the consolidation is a continuation pattern, meaning it's kind of hinting to you that it's gonna continue down. You're just waiting for that next breakout. And like I had mentioned earlier about the angle that the consolidation is going, this is kind of in an upwards angle, right? So it's going to break out to the downside. It always points in the opposite direction that it's going to break out. I hope that makes sense. This is a continuation pattern. I don't like to catch reversal patterns. So I had an impulse down, consolidation, continued down. Red candle, red cloud right here. Also broke out of that consolidation. If you're just doing structure, you sell. Take profit at the zone. This was a good 45 pips on the 15-minute. Stop loss is up to you. I can't really tell you guys how to decide your stop loss. Everybody has a different amount in their account. Everybody decides to risk more or less. It's up to you. These are pretty solid entries, so I mean 20 to 30 pip stop loss is what I would recommend, but I don't know if you're willing to risk 20 to 30 pips. Yeah, it does seem too easy to be true. That's because it is. You guys don't need to make trading so difficult. Just trap consolidation and wait for the breakout. Like even over here. Why is it not letting me? I'm trying to, whatever. Right here. Right here. Consolidation. breakout. This would have been such a nice impulse to catch. Within 30 minutes, this 50 pips. Sheesh. You could do that because the clouds are kind of a form of support and resistance. They play as a form of support and resistance, so you could. Don't you guys pay too much attention to indicators. It's about the structure. We had an impulse, sell, a sell impulse, consolidation, sell. Structure over any indicator always. Indicators are lagging. Yeah, thank you, Star. Literally. Can you do a markup at current price? So if you guys are in my Telegram, you guys will see the bodies. That's why we need to wait for the close. But the bodies, yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's thinking too hard. Bodies and wicks. Do the lines if it's too confusing. Is anybody lost? Is anybody confused? This is how I do the live trading. One more time, can somebody please drop my Telegram link? Tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, I will do live trading, New York session. Last week, we caught, I believe, like over 100 pips on our live trading session. It was a good live trading session. Yeah, well over 100 pips. I think it was like 180 pips off of 2 pairs that we caught. And basically what I do is I just look at US pairs, New York session pairs. We look for the consolidation and we'll wait for that one candle to break out. Once it breaks out up, we buy. If it breaks out down, we sell. It's super easy, guys. Like it's super easy. The only pattern I trade is the consolidation, the flags. I won't go over any other pattern. Doing 7:30 a.m. Eastern time for the New York session. The schedule is posted there in my Telegram. So now you guys know when I post a setup, you guys know exactly what to wait for. I usually try to do ones that correlate with the cloud as well. So for those of you guys that are depending on the indicator, you know that you're waiting for a red candle to close out of a red cloud or a green candle to close out of a green cloud, like this one over here. When I first marked it up, everybody knew that they were waiting for that red candle to close under the red cloud. These are, like Star said, solid entries, guys. These are really good entries. You have rarely any drawdown. When I say drawdown, I mean you go straight into profit. So other than that, guys, hopefully you guys can take advantage of the setups that I post. You guys understand the pattern that I'm trading. I'm a breakout trader. I catch impulses. I catch the big moves. So yes, it requires a little bit of patience. This was really just beginners for those of you guys. My Telegram's grown a lot since my last webinar. So for those of you guys that maybe weren't able to take advantage of the setups, hopefully you can now. Or hopefully I just simplified things for you. You can honestly, I trade any time frame. I've found flags on 4-hour chart, the daily, doesn't matter. And then if this is made sense, go to my Telegram, watch the pinned post. I have 2 trainings right here. recorded. They're really good. These ones I posted because I got the best feedback from these 2 trainings. So watch these 2. I go into depth with fibs on one of them. I think the second one I go into depth with fibs. The first one is just more into depth as to how I trade. Will you start coming to IML TV? I'm on trial, but it's really hard. There's a lot of people that are also on trial. It's really hard to get on IML TV now. But other than that, guys, I hope I put some value of this webinar. It has already run over an hour. If you guys have other questions, I think if you scroll through my Telegram, somewhere I have the link also for my interaction group. If you're somebody that gets overwhelmed from the chitter chatter in Telegram, don't join the interaction group. But if you're somebody that likes to interact, if you like to post your charts to see my feedback or, you know, whatever, other people post flags in there as well, then feel free to join the interaction group too. And I answer a lot of questions in the interaction group. That's a little bit more more attention from me because I go through it and I can see if your setups look solid. I'll post everything right now in my Telegram. I'm gonna post a bunch of content right now. But otherwise, guys, like I always say at the end of my webinars, you've just been schooled by Jasmine. I will see you guys tomorrow morning for New York session.